This is Justin Pulitzer. This is a video supplemental for Gilead. I had been discussing this stock. I had actually done a on-air discussion with Brad on Shadow Trader about that, and I know a lot of you are on the platform and heard it, but I also know a lot of you missed it or aren't on the platform, and I said I would do a dedicated video recap, so let's do it. So we had been discussing about the potential for this to be a gap fill right around in here. And my take on it was that it was not a buy and that it was actually a sell to use this strength because of a couple of things. Now, first and foremost, as you can see that Gilead is now coming off of a lower high. This is going to be a bit of a theme in my regular weekend update, so just keep an eye on that. So, lower high, and now with this gap, which was on news, took out the reference swing low, which was here, this 98.37, went below and continued. This is what's considered a quote-unquote professional gap. You can see it had follow through the next day, stopped ahead of where it really would have been the better, stronger support point, which was the breakout that I had been discussing of 84s, 84.40. You can see over here, these were the prior highs, over here highs, and then when we broke through, that was the stronger breakout. You can see we came back, retested it, and then took off. So I was thinking that a retest of that area would be a pretty strong buy. We did bottom ahead of that. I mean, the market has been so bullish and everyone's been trained to buy the dips that they don't let these patterns fully play out, and I think it makes these launching points not as strong. So what I had been looking for was a move down to 84s and possibly down with an overshoot to the primary trend line to around 79.80, and then that would have been a really strong buy point. That did not happen. We had a upgrade, the stock came up, and you can see it stalled right around here. The high of the day on this day was 98.24, which was a little bit shy of the 98.37, but it got into that 98s area and then has subsequently backed off. My thinking on Gilead is that this 98 to 100, that level is going to be a bit of resistance. You can see it's the start of a volume distribution. All these people up here are people who are underwater, who bought Gilead, and they just want to get their money back. And you can see down here, this is where everyone had been right, and some people who had missed it might be interested in buying again. So my thinking with Gilead is that we are now making, for sure, confirmed lower highs and lower lows. There is no need to jump into this until that pattern stops. However, if you're long and you're kind of wondering what to do, if you're already long, 91.37 to me is the must hold. That was this low. We overshot it here. We didn't spend much time below it. We ran back up over it. It also coincides roughly with a 200-day moving average, which is just a little bit above in 92.30. That to me is the must hold. If not, look out for some more action down below, and then we may retest this primary trend. It would bother me, though, that it's so close to this past low, but it's, again, a right or right out trade, so you won't be risking very much capital if you want to do that type of a buy somewhere into this primary trend and that 84 level support. To me, the move back up here, though, like I said, was suspect just because it gapped into resistance and it peeled back. If you can retake the 100 level with some conviction, there might be some room to retest a little bit further. You can see I had drawn in a little bit of a trend line here that we had broken, and you also have the 50 and 100-day moving averages, so it is possible if you get back up over 100, maybe there's some type of a squeeze into 103 and maybe even into the downtrend line, which I think would honestly be a good right or right out short. Preferably it would coincide over here, so you'd have a confluence of events, the backside of the trend line and the down channel test. So that is my view on Gilead. I'd be looking for a long down here, right or right out, and I'd be looking for a short right or right out up here. This would probably coincide close to the gap fill, into the gap range, primary downtrend line, which is really now channel, and then the backside of this up channel. So that is now how I see Gilead. Those are the two trade setups. So with that, I'll leave you, and let's have a good trading week. Cheers.